Okay, so this is a question on conics or circles on ellipses. Is that on that topic? So, you for do this question, you need to know the standard formula for a circle. Okay, so a standard formula for a circle looks like this, where x1 right is the coordinate of the center of the x coordinate of the center of the circle, and y1 is the x coordinate of the uh, center of the circle, and r would be the radius. So if you are given these clues, right, you could write out the equation of the circle easily by substituting, for example, x1 to be -3 and y1 to be 2 and the radius to be 5. That will give you the answer to the question, which is that this is the equation of the circle. Alright, then in the topic of conics, there are actually three standard formulas. One of them is a circle, one of them is an ellipse, and the other one is the, what do you call that, the hyperbola. Yes, so you need to memorize all these three standard forms of the equation, right, so that you can do other questions as well. So then the next part of the question, they ask you to find the length of PQ, and they say that PQ is the y-intercept of the circle. So intersect the y-axis means the y-intercept of the circle. Since they are the y-intercept of the circle, x must be equals to 0, because at the y-axis x is equals to 0. So you substitute x equals to 0 into the equation. Okay, substitute x equals to 0 into the equation, what you get is this thing will become 0, right? And then minus 3 becomes plus 3. So 0 minus 2, and 0 no, not 0 minus 2. So x coordinate is 0, then the y will remain. So you will find y to be either 6 or -2. So then we know that. Okay, I think right. So if find the length of the, so since the p, one of these points is p, the other one is q, we don't know which is which yet, but it doesn't matter. So to find the length of the PQ, since we know that both of them rest on the same vertical line, their x coordinate is 0 and 0, so the length between them must be 6 minus -2, which is 8. If you walk upwards 8 units, -2 will reach 6. Therefore length of PQ is 8. Okay, and the second circle center P also passes through PQ. So this is the clue. Why? So they ask you state the y coordinate of B, the y coordinate of the center of the second circle. So you look at this diagram. Another circle pass through PQ. Okay, P and Q. So if it passes through P and Q, no matter how the circle, how big or small is the circle, the center has to be the center. Is same, the center of all these circles has to be the same, and they have to be, the y coordinate of the center of circle has to be the midpoint between -2 and 6, which is y equals to 2. This is based like the symmetry of the circle. Okay, so no matter how you draw the circle, if it has to pass through these 2 points, then the center is the midpoint of these 2 points. I can change the points here, but it's still, let's say I've changed this to 0, then the center of the circle, if I change this to 0, then center of the circle would be at 3. All the circles that I draw will be at 3, no matter how I draw them. Okay, so now state the y coordinate of the B, the center of the circle must be at 2, because 2 is between 6 and -2. So given that the x coordinate of B is positive and the radius of the second circle is √80, find the x coordinate of B. So now we know that the center of the circle is not to the left of the y-axis, but rather to the right of the y-axis, because the x coordinate of B is positive. Therefore I draw the circle to the closer to the right, the center of the circle to the right of the y-axis, so that the x coordinate of this is a positive number. And they say the radius of the second circle, which is, okay, this circle, is √80. So the radius is √80. That means the point from the center to the x, to this coordinate, must be √80, because these coordinates, all these coordinates rest on the circumference of the circle. Circumference of the any point on the circumference of the circle is root 80 to the center of the circle because the radius is root 80. Okay, so find the x coordinate of B. Since this is root 80, we know that the midpoint is this one y equals to 2. Okay, I'm trying to draw this triangle, draw this part of the triangle separately, so that here it's clear that I'm going to apply Pythagoras theorem to find the distance here, so that I can find the x coordinate. Okay, x coordinate would be the distance here plus 0, y x equals to 0, right? So we know that this point is 0, 2, okay, based on our earlier okay, we know that this is the y coordinate must be 2 based on the earlier part, so this part must be 0, 2 because this is the y-axis. So 0, 2, and this point on top is 0, 6, correspond to this point. This point is the same as this point over here. So this point is the same as this point here, and this point is the same as this point here. I'm redrawing them just so that you can see. So this distance is 4 because 6 minus 2 is 4. The y value of this 2 is 4, and since this x coordinates are both 0, so this is 4, and we know that the radius is root 80, so this line is root 80. So using the Pythagoras theorem, I can find the x, because x squared plus 4 squared, the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides is equal to the square of the longer side. Okay, because this is a 90 degree, this must be the longer side. Okay, so this one, when I square it, this becomes 80. Okay, square of a square root is 80. 80 minus 4, 16. 80 minus 16 give me 64. So my x must be 8, right? Because 8 equals to 64. It couldn't be minus 8 because x is a positive, it's a distance. It's a distance, and then okay, and also it is positive, right? X coordinate here is mentioned that the x coordinate of B is positive. So therefore, if this is 8 horizontal length is 8, and 8 add to the x coordinate 0 would give me 8, 2. So I know that this coordinate of B is 8, 2. If now I know the coordinate of B is 8, 2, I could easily get the equation of the circle center B which passes through P and Q, which is the equation of this circle. I know this is center is 8, 2, and the radius is root 80. I apply this standard formula again. So x minus the x coordinate of the center, which is 8, okay, square, plus y minus the coordinate of the center, which is 2, okay, and square, so equals to the radius, which is root 80 square. Okay, so then this is the equation of the circle. I just change it to a form that is equal to the form that they want, so that I can compare and know what is my G, F, and C, because they want me to find the value of G, of F, and the value of C. So I just expand this thing out, using the quadratic formula. This will be x squared minus 2ab, which is minus 16x plus 64, plus y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals to square of a root 80 is 80. In fact, I need not evaluate, could just write it in this form straight away. So x squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So after that, okay, let's evaluate. So I combine all the constant. 64 plus 4, 68. 68 minus 80 is minus 12. Therefore, comparing with this equation, my C is equals to minus 12, and 2 times minus 2 will give me minus 4. So therefore F is my minus 2, and so on and so forth. So this equation is solved. Okay, so try to do this question yourself. Okay.